Welcome to the podcast of School Beyond Limitations. In this podcast, you will learn how to guide your child through their school life with the intention to help them find their unique essence that will allow your daughter, your son to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. How can my child overcome fear? My name is Dr. Martina. I'm the CEO, co-founder and developer of School Beyond Limitations. If you would like your child to live a fulfilled and happy life, then this channel may be the right channel for you. Well, fear is all over, and honestly speaking, I'm sometimes shocked about what students tell me and what kind of experiences they make when they come in our admission process, when they say that they fear to be isolated because for their behavior they've been put into kind of isolation and they were not even allowed to go to the toilet, so that they fear to not to be able to compete with others, that they fear failure, that they fear grades, that they fear that they will not succeed in their examinations, that they fear to go to school every day because every day there is a test, every day they are put under observation, under scrutiny, that basically that there is a space in, it seems, in a number of schools out there where students are not nurtured, they are actually put into a space of always questioning themselves whether they are good enough. And we know, if I feel that I'm not appreciated, if I feel that I can't achieve, if I feel that I am not good enough, that causes fear, a lot of fear. And this fear becomes a trauma. This fear actually gets embedded in my system, and this fear starts to a self-talk with oneself constantly. Well, others don't like me. I can't do that. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I'm not good at math. I'm not good at languages. I'm not good at painting. I'm not good at crafts. I'm not good at this and that. I'm not relevant, I'm not seen, I should function. Yeah, all of this becomes part of my daily lives. And it's understandable that instead of actually realizing and showing our children that they are completely wonderful the way they are, and that we are there as adults, as parents, as facilitators, to support their development, to help them actually accept and appreciate themselves in the first place, to help them understand that they do not have to compete against others, that they do not have to identify with what the results are, that they are perfectly fine the way they are, and that we rather inspire them to connect with this inner essence of themselves, to see the beauty of themselves, but not in a pathological way where we say you are gifted and the other one is not gifted, you are special and the other one is not special. No, it's everyone is unique, everyone is special, and everyone, as I mentioned already a number of times, that if I have this understanding that each and everyone is unique and brings something special to the table, then there is no such thing that actually nurtures competition. And by saying that, I don't mean that we can set standards high and that we can say, okay, we can achieve something, yeah? But it's not in a space of fear. So how can I help a child, a son, a daughter, anybody, myself, to overcome fear? Because if the fear is there, I can't just push it away. Fear is an illusion, actually. Fear is self-constructed. The fear that we are, dealing with, oftentimes, as I mentioned before, that's being constructed through experience, through messages. So what can I do? Certainly, the first and the most important thing is that I say yes to my fear, that I actually just identify the fear, that I understand what am I'm really afraid of. Is it something that if I'm going onto, on the top of a mountain and I make a next step out of the top and I know that there's the face, and the rock in front of me, and if I were to overcome that I would fall down, then this is, of course, rightly a right fear, and I wouldn't do that, of course. But if I identify that everything, the fear is coming from people telling me I'm not good enough, people not acknowledging me, then I have certainly already identified the understanding that it's not coming from myself, it's coming from the outside. I identify that I can do something about it, that I can say, that I can see I'm not good at math is coming from somewhere because somebody at the age of 5 told me that I don't understand it. And then I take it and carry it with me. And I understand that this is completely nonsense, that actually it's not true. And I can start step by step looking at problem solving exercises or problem solving situations in real life context. And I see that that's nonsense, and I can build up. So I can shift consciously my thinking from negative thoughts into possible thoughts, conscious thoughts, constructive thoughts. What else can I do? Yeah. And when I see that there is fear, for instance, I fear getting in touch with somebody in real life, then of course I need to face the fear. I can't hide behind my screen. I can't hide behind, my walls. I can't stay within my walls. I need to face the fear. I need to go out. I need to actually interact and start looking at people step by step. I don't have to force myself into a very, very uncommon situation, but I can take one step at a time. I can look at the person in front of me and I can just open up and say, oh, curious, what could that person be like? Yeah. And this already shows me by doing it, by facing it, that I will not die by doing it. And then suddenly that also, this kind of experience shows my child that, okay, it's okay. I can just stand there. I can just relax, pause for a moment before interacting with that person. But I face it. I go for it. I don't run away. And then, of course, I'm not alone. I show my child that they are not alone. I'm going with them. I'm next to them, and I help them step after step to go beyond, to go further, to make the first connection, maybe to ask something, and to go there, maybe before they go and order, something in the restaurant. We just ask them to go to the counter, and then they may come back, or then I go with them, and then the first time I do it for them, and the next time my child does it. So I support. I really set then goals that are realistic. Of course, I don't push them to do all the things at the same time. I go step by step with regards to fear to meet other people. I go first on the street. I take my child. I'm there with them. Maybe we sit down and then there's a person next to us. I start talking to the person, and then I involve my child. And the next time, maybe I invite my child to talk to somebody and or to get something from the ice cream shop or something. And so we start one step at a time. And I show my child that there's no such thing that is called failure. Even if they say, now I go and talk to that person, and then they go, but can't do it in that specific moment, I would say still, well, now today you did it, this is great. And what else can you do to go the next step? What else? Do you want me to be there? Do you want to do it by yourself? And I will facilitate that. And something very, very important is, of course, that we don't give up as adults, as facilitators, that we are persistently showing them that there is a next step, that they can go beyond, that there is more to grow. And the more we open the space, the better it is. And all of that, what I've just said, embedded in an environment and in a space of I understand you, of empathy. I know where you're coming from. I'm not judging you, but I'm facilitating that you are taking the next steps. And it takes time. It's not something that will, just dissolve in one moment. It will take weeks. It will take months. It will take years to overcome. But we need to be clear within ourselves as adults that we do not allow the status quo to be there, that we actually help my child, my daughter, my son to make the next step. And that entails that we are there for them and that we show them that fear is a construct that has been created by experiences, by bad experiences. And yes, it's heartbreaking to see how, strong those experiences are. And I would really say they are stronger than they have ever been, because students nowadays and human beings nowadays are really exposed to so many messages coming from all over the place. And this is what we are doing. We are patient but persistent at School Beyond Limitations. We show students that we need to do our bit ourselves, that there's no such thing that we stop, that we see the fear, and the fear is there, and we do it anyway. As Susan Jeffers always said, we do it anyway. We step up and we go forward, and we are there with them. And we look also for help outside if this is needed. And this is a caring environment at School Beyond Limitations. We are a holistic school where these elements are taken very seriously, but at the same time, we always look for what is the next thing to do. And if you feel inspired by that, please reach out to us. You find the website in the description.
At School Beyond Limitations, we support our students find their unique essence. Feel free to share the content of this podcast with other parents. We are here to show that your children can, indeed, bring their unique essence into life. So, reach out to us if you think that this is what you'd like your daughter, your son to experience, or apply through our website. Also, leave your comments, your questions, or your review about the podcast. Share it with others. And as you know, sharing is caring.